So we have a new project that we're working on today. We're going to be installing a water purifier that our tanks will be cycled through so that we have good drinking water. Currently what we're using is a Berkey gravity filter, and it's got 2 big carbon filters in it, and then we also have 2 arsenic filters, and it works great. The water here where we live is well water, and it's totally safe to drink, but it tastes like minerals. And they chlorinate it and whatever, and it's fine, but it's just not drinkable. So anyway, we've been putting anything we drink, we've been putting through the Berkey filter, and like I said, it tastes great after that. But we can really only use this when we are stationary. So, and even if we're anchored and it's really rolly, it's questionable. So what we've been doing is just putting this in the sink while we're motoring or sailing or doing anything else, which has been fine, but for any length of time, we need to be able to have drinking water, and we just can't really use this while we're on the go. So what we're gonna do, and I'm hoping this will not just purify the water, but also make it taste better. But this is the box that it comes in, and it comes with the nozzle, the water faucet, which we've already installed. We actually had a different faucet here, and we changed out for this one. So that one's already done. We already had the hole. It was just to basically plug it in and we're done. So we got the 2 liter a minute version. There's a 5 liter a minute, and there's also a 1 liter. So we got kind of the middle one, the 2 liter. This is the actual unit. Oh, by the way, this is not sponsored. We just bought this. We don't get sponsored by anybody really. And it does have a filter. So this is the advanced filter. It's a little more expensive than the standard filter, but we opted to go with that. And then we do have a spare, I think they last, I don't know, 1,000 gallons or something. I can't remember. It might say on here, but I can't find it. All right, that's the filter. So typically, when you install one of these, they have a power adapter, and you would just basically plug it in. But what we're going to do, and we do have a plug underneath where we're going to put it, but it is the plug for the water heater. So we don't keep our water heater on, because it uses a lot of power and we don't need it on all the time, and we've had problems with it. You can check out a video about that, and we haven't had any problems since we've been turning it off more and only turning it on when we really need hot water. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to just hardwire it into our 12 volt side of our panel. That way it'll always be powered. And then it also has like a little light on the on this that will show when it's powered. It'll show if it has power. I think this thing glows a color, but that'll be fun to see.
Just figuring out the layout under here where I'm going to put all the boxes and stuff, but I probably ought to connect this tube to the faucet before things get too crowded in here. It's a compression ferrule on polyethylene tube, but this one has there's a little insert sleeve that goes in this end for some reason. I don't know why. It's funny though, because it's got a little it's like a microphone cable that plugs into the UV unit so that it communicates with the faucet to tell it when it's on. It turns on a blue light. Opening the faucet triggers the pressure switch inside of here that opens the water flow. So it's like a mechanical valve, I think, that digitally controls this thing. So then once you get this thing bolted to the wall, the DIN rail just pushes down on these and snaps into there. So if I set this 1.25 inches up from the line that I drew across here, I should be good. So I'm going to chop off some of this PEX.
Careful, please.
Man, I cut my thumb. Okay, so that valve is off, on, and I think I don't have to modify that too much. Pretty good. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, so that thing just mounts on the din rail and it can slide back and forth out of the way.
So it goes up to the faucet, so that's the way it's facing.
Right. And then it's just push to connect. So I shouldn't have to get in and mess with this too much. Ferrule and nut on the water supply line. Then I teed into the line that goes to the water heater with a non-return valve. That's pretty much it for the wet connections.
Can we test it or no? Like, to see if anything leaks?
Yeah, I don't see why not. So it's flooding the system.
Yeah.
Turn the little faucet on. There you go. Get all that air out of there. Gurgle, gurgle, gurgle.
It really splatters.
It's got air in it until it gets the air out of the line. Everything under the sink is done. We pre-flushed it all just to check for leaks and everything, and that's all okie dokie. And now it's just the DC wiring. Found a breaker that I could, well, it's actually a terminal block off of a breaker that I can share with. Got a fuse holder wired up with a 3-amp fuse. That'll go to the terminal block. And just wrapping up these connections here. On standby, it's in the tenths of a milliamp, and then in the active mode, it was like, what, 9 amps?
9 watts.
9 watts, so what was that?
0.75 amps.
There you go. At 12 volts.
Oh.
There will be.
Oh.
Did it light up?
It's green. That's what it's supposed to be?
I don't know. I thought it was blue.
This is blue.
Okay.
No, it's nothing.
Try it again. Open the water. Yeah, it comes on when the water.
Now it's blue.
Yeah.
Okay, so we finally finished the install of the Acuva, and we're going to do a little water test. So we've got water straight from our faucet, which is the well water, but it is filtered. It's filtered at the dock. It's filtered on our boat. It goes through a water softener. So it's not just straight well water. Then we have a glass of Berkey water. That's what we normally drink. Then we have the final glass.
The good stuff.
Okay, I'm going to do first. So
Yeah, sure.
I never drink this water, so I'm a little...
I drink it straight out of the faucet. I don't really care.
It tastes fine. It's got an aftertaste to it.
Yeah.
Not bad.
It's
I mean,
a minerally taste.
yeah, it's drinkable, but it's certainly not my favorite. This is what we always drink, so.
Normal Berkey water.
Yep, tastes good. Can you taste the difference between the two?
Yeah, this
Yeah,
water is
me
a
too.
lot
It tastes better.
softer, less mineral.
All right, and then this is the.
Stuff out of the new tap.
It looks pretty clean.
Well, it should be. It's perfectly drinkable.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Better than a Berkey?
Better or the same?
At least as good?
Yeah, at least as good, I would say. Yeah, I like it. What do you think?
Sure.
I'm glad we can get rid of the Berkey. Right?
Yeah, that thing's like a 2-story building, and you really
Well,
you can't even motor around with it.
No. There's a whole side of the table that we can't really use because the Berkey sits there. So.
Yeah, let's get that thing out of the way.
Pretty basic install. I think the whole thing was about $500. The filter that we got is supposed to get rid of a bunch of stuff. The chlorine and, I don't know, a bunch of other stuff. Fluoride and
Various chemicals
arsenic
found
and,
in groundwater.
Yeah, and it's supposed to improve the taste of the water. But it does say on the filter, which it doesn't say it anywhere else on their website. On the filter it says, do not use it with well water. But too bad, we are
We'll call ours treated well water because
Yeah.
it goes through a multi-stage purification system before it even hits our faucets.
And they treat it here. They chlorinate it here. So
the total hardness of this water is total dissolved solids is somewhere in the thousands range.
Yeah, it's high.
And we knock it down to in the 200 to 300 milligrams per liter range.
Right,
So,
that's with the water softener.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm glad we get to ready that Berkey. I love the Berkey, but and plus you have to fill the Berkey a couple times a day. Set it here, fill it up, and then
works on gravity.
Yeah, and if you wake up in the morning and you've forgotten to do it, well, now you can't make coffee because
if you fill it too much and there was already water in the bottom, you can overfill it and it'll come spilling out.
I've only done that a handful of times.
It's too many.
I know.
Yeah, it'd be nice to get rid of that big can. It makes great water.
It does.
It's an unnecessary countertop annoyance.
Yeah, and the filters last like 3,000 gallons or something, doesn't it? Yeah, it's...
And it's like a gallon and a half.
Yeah, the filter under this thing is supposed to last about 1,000 hours. 6 months to 12...
1,000 hours?
I'm sorry, 1,000 gallons. So it's 6 months, 6 to 12 months. That's what they said, depending on your use. So... Nice.
Bye-bye.